Okay, hello everyone. We start today's lesson. So before starting today's lesson, a very brief reference to what we have studied in the last lesson. The last lesson was on this, the solution of gas in a liquid. That was what we did in the last lesson. Now, when a gas dissolves in a liquid, what is the effect of pressure on the solubility? Okay, you have studied in the last lesson that Henry's law was the law which expressed relation in which the pressure and solubility is related. Okay, so that is what we studied in the last lesson. Okay, so again I will advise you, before you come to today's lesson, before you see today's video, try to go through the last lesson once again. Okay, so now let's see what we are going to do today. Today what we are going to do is the solution of liquid in liquid. The last was gas in a liquid, now it is liquid in a liquid. Okay, you can think about solutions of two or more liquids. Like for example, you cannot talk about water and ethyl alcohol, water and kerosene. No, they don't make a solution. They don't dissolve in each other. They don't mix with each other. Okay, so we can talk about petrol and kerosene. Petrol and kerosene, they make a solution. Okay, another example is water and ethyl alcohol. Ethyl alcohol dissolves in water. Okay, so that too makes a solution. Okay, so solution of liquid in liquid. Example, ethyl alcohol in water. Okay, now if you want to study about solution of liquid in liquid, then what we are going to study is the relation between the vapor pressure and the concentration of the mixture. Okay, now where does this vapor pressure come? Okay, when a liquid dissolves in another liquid, where does this vapor pressure come? See here. See here, supposing consider it is not a solution, we have a liquid A. Liquid is A. Okay, now this small circles I have drawn, they are molecules of A. They are molecules of A. Now you know that this liquid A, due to evaporation, okay, due to evaporation at all temperatures, by the way, okay, even at room temperature, what will happen is the molecules will be evaporating, and the molecules will then form vapors on top of the surface of the liquid. Okay, so the molecules, you can see these are the molecules of the vapors of A. Okay, these are the molecules of the vapors of A, and in the liquid these are the molecules of the liquid A. Okay, so whenever there is a liquid, above the surface of the liquid we will find vapors due to evaporation. Okay, so there are two processes occurring at the same time. Okay, what are the two processes? The liquid will be converting to vapors. Okay, at all temperatures that will be happening. Okay, if you have a glass of water, then above the surface of the water there will be water molecules coming out. Water molecules will be escaping out of the surface into the space above the water. Okay, right. Now there will be another process happening at the same time. That process is the reverse process. What is the reverse process? The vapors will be condensing back to the liquid. That is two processes. See, this will be happening. Molecules of the liquid escaping into the space above as vapors, and the vapor molecules condensing back to the liquid. Both this process occur at the same time. Okay, and at a particular temperature, these two processes, that means the forward process, which is evaporation, and the reverse process, which is condensation, these two will be at equilibrium. Excuse me, these two will be at equilibrium. So when they are at equilibrium, the amount of vapor that is there over the surface will be fixed. Okay, so that means the amount of vapor will be fixed. Means how do you measure the amount of a gas? We can measure the amount of a gas by pressure. Okay, so the pressure over the liquid will be equal to the vapor pressure of A. Okay, so the molecules of A will be exerting some pressure. All gas exert pressure. Alright, so these molecules of A will exert pressure. That pressure is known as the vapor pressure. of A. Okay, so that is where the idea about the vapor pressure comes. Okay, whenever a liquid is there, there is always vapor on top of the liquid, and that vapor exerts a pressure. The pressure is known as vapor pressure. Okay, then there is another quantity, the concentration of the mixture. Concentration means that will come now here. Now see the second diagram here. In the second diagram, now we have two liquids mixed with each other. Again, say kerosene and petrol. Okay, you can see the liquid contains two types of molecules, one smaller and then one larger molecules. So again, the larger molecule is liquid A and the smaller molecule is liquid B. Okay, so these two molecules are there in the liquid. Okay, and over the liquid surface, okay, A will be evaporating to give you molecules of A on the surface, over the surface. B will be similarly evaporating to give you molecules of B in the over the surface of liquid. Okay, so therefore, in the case of a mixture of liquid, the vapor will contain molecules of both A and molecules of B. Alright, so in this case, in the case of a mixture, okay, the pressure, now again there is a mixture of gas, there is a gas on top of the liquid. Okay, so this gas will be exerting pressure, and that pressure is again known as vapor pressure. Okay, but in this case, the pressure over the liquid mixture or the vapor pressure will be equal to the contribution of A molecules and the contribution of B molecules. Okay, so you have studied in the last class, I think, that the contribution of A molecule is known as the partial vapor pressure of A, and the contribution of the B molecule is known as the partial vapor pressure of B. Okay, all right. So when you have a mixture of two liquids A and B, okay, the pressure over the liquid will be partial pressure of A plus partial pressure of B. Okay, now comes the concentration of the mixture. Okay, so here A and B are mixed. Okay, in what ratio they are mixed? In what ratio they are mixed, or in what percentage composition they are mixed? Okay, that quantity is the concentration of the mixture. Okay, so this concentration mix. So therefore, in today's lesson, we are studying about the solution of liquid in liquid. Now what we are going to study in solution of a liquid in liquid is the relation between the vapor pressure, the pressure here, the pressure, vapor pressure, and the concentration of the mixture. What is the relation between the vapor pressure, the pressure exerted by the vapors, the pressure exerted by A, the pressure exerted by B, and the concentration of A, the concentration of B. Okay, that is what we are going to study there, and the most important law that deals with this particular issue is the Raoult's law. Okay, so Raoult's law is the relation between what? Between the vapor pressure and the vapor pressure of a particular liquid and the concentration of that liquid in the mixture. Okay, so we will clean this board, and then I will give you the statement of the Raoult's law. Statement of the Raoult's law. Okay, statement. Okay, it states that Raoult's law states that the partial vapor pressure exerted by a liquid in a mixture is directly proportional to the mole fraction of the liquid in the mixture. Okay, this is the statement. Again I am repeating here that Raoult's law states that the partial vapor pressure exerted by a liquid, okay, in a mixture is directly proportional to the mole fraction of the liquid in the mixture. Okay, so this will be more clear when we make some assumptions and then express mathematically. Okay, so we can say, supposing let PA and PB be the partial vapor pressure exerted by A and B in a mixture. Okay, so A and B are two liquids present in a mixture. Okay, so this liquid mixture, it contains two liquids A and B. Okay, now over the liquid we have got vapors of A also and vapors of B also. Now the partial pressure of A is PA and the partial pressure of B is PB. Understood? And similarly, let XA and XB be the mole fraction of A and B respectively. Alright? Respectively. Okay. So now, according to Raoult's law, the partial vapor pressure is directly proportional to the mole fraction of A. That means the partial vapor pressure of a liquid is proportional to the mole fraction of that liquid. Okay, mole fraction of the liquid. Okay, so remember here, this is the simple state. This is the simple mathematical expression. This is the, we can say, the mathematical expression. Mathematically, PA is proportional to XA. This is the mathematical expression. Okay, so one thing very important to remember is, what is PA? See, there are two parts in this system. The vapor part and the liquid part. Okay, so the partial pressure is referred to, or the partial pressure is regarding the vapor part. Okay, the partial pressure of A and B both are present in the vapors. Okay, and the second part, the mole fraction part, XA, the mole fraction refers to the concentration in the liquid. Alright, so the liquid, the mole fraction, the concentration of A in the mixture is XA. Okay, so there are two parts, that's what you have to understand. Okay, or, so mathematically PA is proportional to XA, or all of you know, I think, that whenever there is a proportional sign, we can write PA is equal to constant into XA. Okay, next, a constant into XA. Okay, now we can solve what is K. What is K equal to? We can solve. How do you solve? When XA is equal to 1, PA is equal to PA naught, which is the pressure of pure liquid A. Okay, now try to understand this carefully. Okay, when X is equal to 1. Okay, now here again explanation, I will just give you the explanation here. What is that explanation? XA is 1. XA is the mole fraction of A. XA is the mole fraction of A. XB is the mole fraction of B. Right? XA is the mole fraction of A and XB is the mole fraction of B. Okay, if you now refer back to the mole fraction topic, then you will find that sum of the mole fraction is always equal to 1. Okay, for any mixture, okay, in this case we have got only two components in the mixture, A and B. There may be three components in the mixture, A, B and C. Even if there are three components, then XA plus XB plus XC will be equal to 1. Okay, so the sum of the mole fraction in a mixture is always equal to 1. Okay, so if it is equal to 1, what is the meaning of XA is equal to 1? See, when Xa is equal to 1, it means Xb is 0. That means, what does it imply? It implies pure A or pure liquid A. So Xa is equal to 1 means X equal to 1 means there is no B. That means it is not a mixture, it is a pure liquid A. So when X is equal to 1, then the pressure will be pressure of pure liquid. So here you just imagine B is not there. When B is not there, then the pressure will be pressure exerted by the pure liquid A only. Okay, supposing when you have got ethyl alcohol and water, okay, if you have got ethyl alcohol and water, then the partial pressure will be what? Partial pressure of ethyl alcohol and partial pressure of water. Okay, but supposing you have got a simple, you have got pure water in a glass, then the pressure on the top of the water surface will be equal to what? Will be equal to the pressure of pure water only. Okay, we don't call it partial pressure of water in that case, because there is no other component. Okay, so therefore X is equal to 1 means P is equal to P naught A. Okay, so therefore if you substituting, say this is equation 1, substituting in 1, what do we get? We get PA A is equal to PA naught is equal to K into 1, or K is equal to PA naught. Okay, so therefore PA naught. So therefore we can say that PA, Raoult's law. We can rewrite equation 1 as PA is equal to PA naught into XA. Okay, this is the mathematical relation for Raoult's law. Okay, so therefore what does it say? What does it say? See, the partial pressure, when there is a mixture of two liquids A and B, the partial pressure of A in the vapor is equal to the pressure of pure liquid A into the mole fraction of A in the mixture. Okay, similarly if you work out similarly, that means if you work out similarly, if you write PB will be what? PB will be equal to partial pressure of B will be equal to the will be proportional to mole fraction of B. Similarly, partial pressure of B will be equal to constant into mole fraction of B. Okay, and here also if XB is 1, if XB is 1, then PB will be equal to P naught B. Okay, so therefore similarly you will get the relation that PB will be equal to PB naught into XB. Okay, so for the component B we can write down that, we can state that partial pressure of B is equal to the pressure of pure liquid B into the mole fraction of B. Okay, so this is the mathematical relation of Raoult's law. Okay, so we will just clear the board and move forward. So we can write mathematically, we can generally write that, mathematically we can write down, instead of writing PA and PB, we can generally write down that P is equal to P naught into X. Alright, P is equal to P naught into X, where P is partial pressure of liquid component, P naught is pressure of pure liquid, and X is the mole fraction of liquid in the liquid mixture, mind you. Liquid mixture. Okay, all right. Now, so this is regarding Raoult's law. Okay. Now we will be doing one important problem, but before doing that problem, I will just maybe make you recall to a very important law known as the Dalton's law. Dalton's law of partial pressure. Okay, Dalton's law of partial pressure. All right. Now, see. Now, from the Dalton's law of partial pressure, see now, supposing in this case we have got a liquid mixture. Now, and on top of this we have got the vapors. Okay, we have vapors. Okay. Now, Dalton's law of partial pressure is applicable to the vapors. All right. So, if there are two A and B, now if there are two gases A and B, two vapors A and B, we can write down that total pressure, if the total pressure is P, partial pressure is equal to P, say A and PB, okay, then PA will be equal to XA into P. Okay, now, okay, this is something you see. So, though this Dalton's law of partial pressure and is not particular, does not come up in this particular chapter, but the problem what we are going to do is something that we have to apply this relation also. Okay, so one thing very important to note here, that this XA, see XA. So here, see, PA is equal to XA into P. What is PA? PA is the partial pressure of A. Partial pressure of A, that is the same partial pressure that we had talked about in the Raoult's law, right? Now, P is what? P is the total pressure. Now, total pressure, I told total pressure of the vapor, okay, that is equal to partial pressure of A into partial pressure of A plus partial pressure of B. Okay. Now, this XA is something different. This XA is the mole fraction. By the mole fraction, this is okay, it is mole fraction. Okay, in Raoult's law also XA term was there, XA quantity was there, then also it was a mole fraction, but here is the mole fraction of A in vapor. The mole fraction of A in the vapor mixture. Okay, so in the Raoult's law, okay, what is the Raoult's law? Partial pressure of A is equal to pressure of pure A into mole fraction of A. This mole fraction is mole fraction of A in liquid mixture. Okay, this is where people can get confused. Okay, okay. So in this relation also, you come across mole fraction of A. All right. But here the mole fraction, because there are two because A and B is present in two different systems. See, all right, in the vapor state and in the liquid state. Okay. Now the mole fraction in the vapor state is used in the relation of Dalton's law of partial pressure, and the mole fraction of the liquid in the liquid state is used in the Raoult's law. Okay, so these two very important difference that you should keep in mind. Okay, so we will just take up one question on the Raoult's law. Okay, so okay, so you will see in your screen, question number 12. Question number 12 from the same book that I referred to in the beginning of this video lesson. Okay, question number 12. In question number 12, the question is, find the vapor pressure of a solution prepared by dissolving 20 grams of ethyl alcohol and 100 grams of water at 298 Kelvin. Okay, All right, find the vapor pressure of the solution. Okay, so first of all, you are given ethyl alcohol is 20 gram, and you are given that water is 100 gram. Okay, the quantity of ethyl alcohol and water is given 100, 20 gram and 100 gram respectively. Okay, so find the vapor pressure of the solution. Okay, so you can imagine there is a solution. We have ethyl alcohol and we have got water. The amount is given 20 gram and 100 gram. Okay, now so therefore there will be vapors on the top, there will be vapors on the top. The question is, find the vapor pressure over the surface of the liquid. Okay, so now and what is given? What is given is vapor pressure of pure ethyl alcohol C2H5. Okay, pure water is 0.031 and the vapor pressure of pure ethyl alcohol is 0.081 atmosphere. ATM means atmosphere. Okay, so naturally now you will apply Raoult's law. So what you are going to find out is, you are going to find out what is the partial pressure of water and what is the partial pressure of ethyl alcohol. Because if you find the partial pressure of water and you find the partial pressure of ethyl alcohol, then adding the two you will get the total pressure. Okay, that's the question. Find the vapor pressure of a solution. Again, I am reading the question. Find the vapor pressure of the solution prepared by dissolving 20 grams of ethyl alcohol and 100 grams of water. Okay, also calculate the so that is later on. Now you are given the vapor pressure of pure water and pure ethyl alcohol are 0.031 and 0.081 respectively. Okay, so what do you do first? What do you do is Raoult's law relation. Raoult's law relation is P water is equal to P naught water into X mole fraction of water. Similarly, partial pressure of ethyl alcohol is pressure of pure ethyl alcohol and mole fraction of ethyl alcohol. So the first task will be to find the mole fraction. The first task is to find X. How do you find X? All right. So this is the way C2H5OH. Okay. Weight is equal to, okay, you can simply write down number of moles is equal to, I told you last time, it is the weight divided by molecular weight. So what is the molecular weight of ethyl alcohol? Ethyl alcohol C2H5OH, it is C2H6O, carbon 24, hydrogen 6, water 16. So the answer is 46. Okay, so it is 20 divided by 46. All right, and 46. Okay, so 20 divided by 46 is 0.435. 0.435. All right. Now in the same way, for water, number of moles will be 100 divided by what? 100 divided by molecular weight is 18. So the answer is 5.55. Okay. All right, 5.55. All right. Now, okay. So now, so what is the number of what is the mole fraction? X C2H5OH. X C2H5OH will be number of mole of ethyl alcohol, which is 0.435, divided by total number of mole. Total number of mole is 0.435 plus 5.55. Okay, so this will be equal to Okay, the answer is 0.0726. 0.0726. And in the case of water, we get X water, mole fraction of water is 5.55 divided by 5.985 equal to 0.927. Okay, 0.927. All right. So this is the mole fraction of water, and this is the mole fraction of ethyl alcohol. Okay. So now you apply in this particular relation. If you apply in this particular relation, you get PS2O is equal to pure water. What is the pressure of pure water? The pressure of pure water is given 0.031 into mole fraction of ethyl alcohol. Sorry, mole fraction of in this we will do this ethyl alcohol. So pressure of ethyl alcohol will be equal to pressure of pure ethyl alcohol, that is 0.081 into and mole fraction of ethyl alcohol. Mole fraction of ethyl alcohol is 0.0726. Okay, 0.081 into 0.0726. 0.081 into 0.0726. So the answer we are getting is 0.0058 atmosphere. Okay, atmosphere, 0.0058 atmosphere. Okay, and similarly water, partial pressure of water will be equal to mole fraction of water, or the pressure of pure water. The pressure of pure water is 0.031 atmosphere into mole fraction is 0.927. Okay, so if you multiply this, if you simplify this, you get 0.031 into 0.927, 0.028 atmosphere. Okay, 0.028 atmosphere. Okay, so see, you have got, this is the pressure of exerted by ethyl alcohol, this is the pressure exerted by water. Okay, so therefore I'll do it at the bottom of the board. Total pressure P, total pressure of vapor will be equal to pressure of ethyl alcohol plus pressure of water. Pressure of ethyl alcohol is 0.0058 and that of water is 0.28. All right. So what you get is 0.0338 atmosphere. This is the answer you're getting, 0.0338 atmosphere. Okay, that is the total pressure of the vapor. Okay, so using Raoult's law. Okay, see, we were given with 20 grams of ethyl alcohol and 100 grams of water. Okay, now the question was, what is the pressure of the vapor exerted by this mixture? Okay, using Raoult's law, we were able to calculate what was the partial pressure of ethyl alcohol, what is the partial pressure of water, and ultimately what is the total pressure of the mixture. Okay, so that is how you apply Raoult's law in problem solving. Now the second part of the problem is calculate the mole fraction of each component in the vapor state. Okay, this is the second part. Okay, that is where the relation we adopted from Dalton's law of partial pressure will be applied. Calculate the mole fraction of each component in the vapor state. Okay, so the mole fraction that we have calculated here was the mole fraction of the liquid mixture. Okay, now the mole fraction of the vapor mixture will not be necessarily the same. It may be different. Okay, so the question now is, what is the mole fraction of the vapor mixture? Okay, Alright, that's what we are going to find. So we'll rub the board and then complete this question. So in the second part of the question, calculate the mole fraction of each component in the vapor state. So for the second part of the question, the relation used is P, say C2H5OH is equal to X C2H5OH into P. Okay, here X C2H5OH is the mole fraction of ethyl alcohol in the vapor. Very important, okay, in the vapor. Okay, now P was already calculated. It was 0.033. I'll just take 3 places of atmosphere. P was already calculated. P is the, and what is P? P is the total pressure. P is the total pressure. All right, and of course P C2H5OH is the partial pressure. Right. All right. So now P. So therefore, this was already calculated, and P C2H5OH was also already calculated. Okay, and its value was, I have rubbed that portion. Anyway, I think its value was 0.0058. You can see and correct yourself. P C2H5OH was 0.0058 atmosphere. All right, 0.0058 atmosphere. Okay, so therefore, if you substitute the values here, what you get is 0.0058 is equal to X C2H5OH into total pressure 0.033, okay, or X C2H5OH mole fraction of ethyl alcohol will be 0.0058 divided by 0.033. Okay, so we'll do the calculation. So 0.0058 divided by 0.033. The answer you are getting is 0.175. 0.175. Similarly, we can find the mole fraction of water also in the vapor. Okay, that was the question in the vapor. You can you can use this relation. Okay, P water is equal to, you can use the relation again. P water is equal to X water into P. Okay, here X water is the mole fraction of water in vapor. Okay, and you can similarly you can find XH2 also. You can find XH2 also similarly. All right. Okay, but I'll just mention here that you can find mole fraction without using this also, because once you find the mole fraction of ethyl alcohol, you can find the mole fraction of water without solving this. How? The relation is X water plus X C2H5OH is 1. All right. So therefore, since X C2H5OH is 0.175, X water plus 0.175 is 1. So therefore, X water will obviously be equal to 1 minus 0.17 of 5. So that will be equal to 0.825. Okay. So that way you can find the mole fraction of both water and ethyl alcohol. Okay. That means both in the vapor phase and in the liquid phase. Okay. So that is question number 12. Okay. That's all. Okay, so that will be all for today's lesson. Okay, so now since most of you may not have the book, right? Now the book of chemistry. Okay, so that's why I am just giving you some problems which you can practice if you have followed today's lesson. Okay, so here the question that we attempted on the board few minutes back was question number 12. It's question on Raoult's law. Okay, now here we have got question number 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, and these questions you can try. These are the questions which are on which Raoult's law, mathematical relation of Raoult's law applicable. Okay, so you can try these questions. You can try these questions, and maybe in the next class I will give you the answers to some of these problems. Okay, so that's all for today. Okay, so see you again in the next class.